one of the cool kids. The problem was that I had never been cool. It seemed to come naturally to them. They were naturally pretty, naturally good at talking to people, and they naturally seemed to ooze cool. I did what most uncool kids desperate to be cool did. I changed my hair and my style and started wearing more makeup. I tried to stop making dorky comments, and I stopped going to chess club. None of these things worked, though, because however hard I tried, I was never quite cool enough. There was this one girl called Marissa who just seemed to ooze cool more than anyone else did. She was effortlessly beautiful, and she always wore the cutest outfits. My new clothes weren't cool enough. Not like Marissa's. So I saved up all my allowance. Then, one day, after school, I made some excuses to my friends about needing to help my mom out with errands, but instead, I went to the mall. I was in a shop looking at this really cute blue dress when Marissa and her friends walked in. When they saw me, they instantly began to laugh. "Like you could ever afford that," Marissa snorted, and her friends laughed too. I looked at the price tag. It was $50. Marissa was right. Even with my saved-up allowance, there was no way that I could afford to spend that much on one dress. I lingered in the back of the shop and pretended to look at the overpriced sunglasses, when I was actually watching Marissa and her friends eyeing up cute outfits. How come they had enough money to afford these clothes and I didn't? That's when I noticed one of Marissa's friends sneak a t-shirt into her rucksack. At first, I was horrified and was convinced that Marissa would be too if she knew what her friend had done. Then, I saw Marissa put a lipstick in her bag. They all laughed over at me and waved before they left the store with linked arms. I went back over to the cute dress and picked up my size. It had a security tag on it, so I placed it back on the rail. I walked back over to the sunglasses. There was a really cute pink-tinted heart-shaped pair that I knew Marissa would adore. I looked at the price tag, and they were $30. As I put them back, I noticed that they weren't tagged. I looked over at the shop assistant. She was serving someone at the till. Quickly, I grabbed the heart-shaped sunglasses and placed them into my rucksack. My heart was beating so fast as I hurried out of there. The alarms didn't sound and the shop assistant didn't rush over to me. I'd done it. I'd shoplifted without being caught. I looked around the mall for Marissa and found her sat with her friends at a table eating cheese fries. I walked over to them as confidently as I could manage and placed the sunglasses down in front of Marissa. "For you," I smiled. "I stole them." Marissa picked them up and studied them. "Not bad," she smirked. "Have a seat." She patted the empty chair next to her. After that, I stopped hanging out with my old friends and started hanging out with Marissa. At first, I loved being with the cool kids, but I found it hard to keep up the pretense. Marissa shoplifted all the time, but I found it more difficult. I knew that if I wanted to remain in her friendship group, that I had to shoplift expensive things because that's what they all did. I knew what I was doing was wrong, but Marissa had a way of convincing me that what we were doing was okay. She'd constantly tell me that the shops are super rich and won't miss a few dresses and tops, and why shouldn't we get to have nice things just because our parents aren't loaded? Marissa saw this beautiful dress in one of the expensive shops. She desperately wanted it for the next school party, but it was $200. "I can't go in there because they caught me trying to shoplift a few months back. Please do this for me, Clara. I have to have that dress," she pleaded with me. "I don't know. I don't want to get into trouble," I'd replied. "I have to have that dress. I've told everyone else that I'll be wearing it, so if I don't, they will all laugh at me. You don't want me to be laughed at, do you?" I agreed to steal the dress for her. Her and her friends said they'd wait for me by the mall entrance. I walked into the shop and looked around first. I waited until the woman working there was busy with a customer before I grabbed the dress Marissa wanted and rushed out of there. As I walked through the doors, the alarm sounded, but I kept on walking. Soon, a massive security guard had his hand on my shoulder. "Excuse me, miss. Please, can you come with me?" He took me to an office room and called the police and my parents. Because it was my first offense, the police let me off with a warning. But my parents weren't so lenient on me, and I was grounded with no allowance for a month. When I told Marissa what had happened, she got really angry and told me that I was a loser, and because of me, she'd look awful at the school party. We haven't spoken since. I still have some serious making up to do with my old friends, and I know it will take a while to gain back their trust. I no longer want to be one of the cool kids, and I will definitely never be shoplifting again. I was dumb to do what I did. I gave in to peer pressure for a girl who totally wasn't worth it. Like this video if you agree that good friends would never make you break the law for them.